have you ever wondered about a place where you could drive to, bring your family with lots to do, and also have world-class fishing? I found it, folks. This week, we're at Waterfalls Lodge, just outside of Spanish, Ontario, and I'm with Algoma Country That Real contest winner, Anthony Hips, and we're going after smallmouth. I'm Bill Spicer. This is the New Fly Fisher.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to the support of Ontario, yours to discover, Algoma Country, Orvis Sporting Traditions.
Ontario's Algoma Country is one of the best destinations in the world for smallmouth bass. There are numerous beautiful lakes, with 70% of those lakes having smallmouth. One such drive-to destination is just outside the town of Spanish, Ontario, on the Kessel Lake systems, one of north central Ontario's most beautiful areas. These lakes have numerous islands and bays with perfect conditions for smallmouth bass. This week, we are a guest of Rob Murphy and Kathy DeCamp, owners of Waterfalls Lodge, an ideal sportsman vacation retreat. Also joining me on this trip as co-host is Anthony Hips, winner of Algoma Country's That Real contest. Anthony is a very experienced fly fisher and his favorite species is smallmouth bass. This will be a great trip, I'm sure. Algoma Country, along with the New Fly Fisher Show, has been running a yearly contest in which the winner gets to pick a participating lodge in Algoma Country for a fantasy fishing trip for two. They also get to be guest hosts of the episode they are featured. This year's winner is Anthony Hips of North Carolina. Listen as he talks about finding out how he had won the contest.
How I felt when I won was I couldn't believe it. I had a phone call from Carol Caputo, and she said, "Congratulations, Mr. Hips. You've won the Algoma contest, and you're going to get to fish with Bill Spicer." I was overjoyed and stunned at the same time because I didn't believe it was possible. Both my wife Robin and I are just thrilled to be here. The lodge is beautiful. The cabin is very comfortable. The lakes are gorgeous. There's wildlife. The people, Kathy and Rob, are incredibly friendly. The staff go out of their way to make us feel comfortable, to make us feel wanted here. This is beyond what I expected as far as how much I would enjoy it and how beautiful the area is. I'm thrilled, and I think Robin and I will be coming back, not as contest winners, but just as paying guests, because we've already enjoyed this so much.
One of the great services Waterfalls Lodge offers is traveling on ATVs along dirt roads to the fish-filled back lakes. If riding an ATV is more than you can handle or want, they'll take you there in a larger vehicle called a gator. The guides have a pet smallmouth that they feed at the dock. It's made clear that this is a pet and not to be fished to.
Right there in that corner, looks like a good spot.
That's a good spot. There we go, right over there. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're smoking me here. Oh, gee whiz, that's a good one.
And he
hit that one?
Hip soft body popper.
Soft body popper, there you go. It might be a popper kind of day, I hope.
Look at that.
There you go.
Waterfalls Lodge is a drive-in lodge, and we're like 2 hours from Sault Ste. Marie or an hour from Sudbury. So we're very close to the borders. You can come in and park right beside your waterfront cottage, and we'll set you up from there. So we're open on the middle of May all the way through to the middle of October. And prime time fishing is all through the whole season, with June being super prime time and also middle of August to middle of September. Now for us, smallmouth bass is our #1 ticket. If you love smallmouth bass fishing, if you love that action, please have a look at us. That's what we're very, very good at. But also we have walleye, northern pike, lake trout, perch. So quite a diverse fishery, but smallmouth is what we're very, very good at.
Something just went after it. We're over top of a rock reef, just a sunken island type of thing, and the fish are holding here. And all I'm doing is making it go up and down. I got a front heavy fly, Scotty's McFly. It's got a bullet head on it. And they've been following it. They're kind of standoffish right now.
He's looking, got it.
Got him. That was a good fish. I saw him come.
Yeah, he came right
I
up.
saw him come right up and
He
grab
just
it.
followed it for the longest before
Yeah.
he sucked it in.
Yeah. This is
This is a nettable fish here.
I think so.
Just lead him in and I'll...
I will. Oh, I don't have a real good purchase on it, so
No,
I'm
he's
gonna try to
just
get
caught
him
in the very front of the lip.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
There
Excellent.
you go, Bill. Well done, my friend.
Thank you, sir. But this isn't even a big one, but this is a very nice fish. We did well here. Oh, nice fish. Now, and away he goes. We'll be right back with more smallmouth action.
The fishing's pretty good by any standards, especially for smallmouth bass, pike. I hear the walleye's good, although that's not why we're here. We're here to fly fish primarily for smallmouth bass. The average size of the fish is very good, about 14 to 16 inches. The smallmouth here have a lot of kick in their tail, and they'll give you a run for your money. Even on an 8-weight rod, they'll bend it all the way into the handle. So your fish fighting skills will be put to the test by these fish here. And I'm just barely tapping it. I'm not moving that fly more than 2 or 3 inches at a time, just like that.
There you go. Oh,
It's a guy, we'll take it.
it's a fish. It's a very effective technique.
There.
There you go.
He's
Oh,
got
yeah,
that minnow
that's-
right in his top lip.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's a jig fly eye tie. It doesn't have a lead head on it, but there's lead wraps built into the jig. It's barbless.
Yeah.
And
Show the audience how you've got this rigged, because this is different than any other way that most people
well,
fish
I've
for smallmouth.
often found that when the fish are in a lethargic mood, especially cold front conditions or windy conditions, you've got to slow down and downsize. And with the wind blowing, I can't always tell, but I put an indicator out there about 3.5 feet above my fly with a jig fly that's lightly weighted, so it just kind of fluffs. What that happened with that fish, he didn't hit it hard. I just saw the indicator just barely go under. and
That's
I
what you're
tightened
waiting for.
up.
You're looking at the indicator. You're not feeling it.
Yeah, you're not feeling
No,
it.
This is the super slow presentation
Very
that you need
slow.
when the wind picks up and the fish get lethargic.
That's right. He gets bigger as he gets closer to the boat.
Well, that's actually a pretty good fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, running you down like that. Look at that. Why don't I get out of your way? Yeah, that's a good fish. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a Kodak moment. Good man. Good man.
Thank you, Roger. Excellent job on the net.
That is an excellent fish. Look at that. Yeah, and the crawdad pattern.
And the indicator, just like I said.
Like I did before.
Beautiful. He was right where he should have been, too.
Yep.
Well, the fly rods we'd recommend for smallmouth bass here at Waterfalls Lodge are a 6 or 7 weight. This is a 6 weight. I would definitely recommend a full floating line bass taper for turning over bushy flies and bass bugs. I would also recommend an intermediate line. I like this clear intermediate line that's on this rod for fishing, say, 2 foot down to 3 or 4 foot deep. And finally, I would recommend you bring a full sinking line. That allows you to get down to them and get some bites you wouldn't otherwise get.
One of the true pleasures in coming to Waterfalls Lodge is the shore lunch that Kathy and Rob put on for guests. Fresh fish caught and then grilled to create a meal like no other. Fillets, pan-fried in a cast iron skillet, take on a special flavor when cooked beside the lake from which they were taken. Fish never tasted better than when cooked outdoors and eaten while listening to the tranquil sounds of the water. We'll be right back after these messages.
What I look for when I'm going smallmouth fishing is structure. You will find a structure without bass, but you'll never find a bass without structure. Here at Waterfalls Lodge, some of the best structures we found were mid-lake rock reefs, and sometimes we found some fish around sparse weed beds where there were lots of perch hanging out. The bass were in there feeding on the yellow perch and chasing them. Down logs were also a key structure for us to pull fish off of.
Good man. Ooh, good fish. Right at the boat, eh?
Yep, he followed it up.
So I'm going to keep mine down there in case he's got a brother.
I don't see a brother. That's a nice, beautiful brown fish.
That's a big, big fish, too. Let me get a picture of that with that. That's a really nice fish.
Clouser minnow.
Green over yellow.
Green over yellow. Fished on a intermediate line. Let sink about 10 seconds before I even started the retrieve. Fish followed it all the way up the boat before hitting. There's about 16 inches of smallmouth bass. Thank you, Miss Smallmouth.
There you go.
For this trip, I would recommend poppers in black, this Fire Tiger yellow, size 4, size 6, up to size 2. We did real well early in the morning with poppers to start. Then as the wind got up and the weather changed, we switched over to a crayfish pattern. This is a Hips Hill Crawl with rubber legs, a marabou tail, a root bear staz body. And it's weighted, and we fished it under an indicator real slow so we could suspend it in the fish's face. And that's just what it took under the cold front conditions we were fishing under. Fish it really slow and just barely twitch it along. Also, fishing around the beaver dams, we did well, had some great action on a Clouser minnow, a green over yellow pattern, and I think this imitates the yellow perch.
The next day, we decided to split up and cover more water.
My retrieve has been erratic. I'm not doing a straight retrieve in like this. That's probably the worst thing you can do. I twitch, little jerks twitch, move it, move, change directions, anything to make it look like it's hurt or sick or something, because a bass is opportunist and they'll eat anything that looks like it's weak. So a little twitch here, a little twitch there, make it look alive. Ah, there's one. Come on, take it, take it. Come on, take it, take it. Ooh, you still see him. There he is. Got him. Got him. Oh, that's a good fish, too. It's a good fish. Yeah, it's about time. Oh, wow. Trying to manage all this line. I've been casting a long way, and trying to get into structure. 3 times he come up at it, and I put it back. He missed it once. Then again, he missed it, and then the 3rd time he finally took it. It's a big fish. Clouser minnow, gray over white, your typical minnow pattern. They got lots of them in here, these shiners. Small bass. Yes, sir, thank you. Wow, look at this. Look at this. And barbless hook. Now that's a good smallmouth. That's a Waterfalls smallmouth bass. Let him go. Come on, and away he goes. Delicious, that's great. Look at that. And that's a little creek chub. That's what they're eating right there. That is why, here's a good example. This is why that I just got that last big fish. This is almost the same color and the same length as the actual natural. I'm matching the hatch, more or less.
They kept nosing it, and spitting it out. Regurgitating like they're sick at their stomach or seasick. You said right down back there. Which side you want him on, Barry? Okay, he's pretty much going where he wants to. Yay! Now that's a nice fish. Thank you, Rob. Well done. Folks, an Algoma country smallmouth on the Clouser minnow. We'd switched because the popper just wasn't producing. Gray over white Clouser, synthetic with some flash in it. Fished over a rock reef, twitched back real slow. And finally got a nice one to hit, about a 15, 16-inch fish. We'll let him go to fight another day.
There are 2 setups we used on this episode. The first was for popper fishing. We used a floating bass taper line to a 9-foot taper to 2x leader, then the popper. The second setup was for subsurface flies. It was an intermediate clear sinking line to a 4-foot section of 12-pound monofilament and then the streamer. We chose sinking lines over sinking tip because they keep the fly in the strike zone longer.
Now this sunken island, you can see it plain as day, and it looks like to be about 2 to 3 feet deep on top of it, but it drops off down to 14 feet. So the smallmouth like it because they can come up and feed on top of the island and then hit down into deep water and cooler water when they need to, when it gets hot like it is today. Fish on. And that's your classic sunken island or rock pile. That we call them rock piles, but that's very good. Nice. Active fish. That's what we've been cueing in on, is structure, structure, structure. Okay. I'm trying. He's not being very cooperative. Okay, here he comes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Not a huge fish by any means, but not bad. Not bad at all. First cast on a rock pile, and that's what like I said, we've been cueing in on the structure, and structure being rock piles, sunken islands, fallen timber, weeds. We were just out in a weed patch there. They were down. That's the structure that they were looking for. You will never find a bass without structure. You might find structure without bass, but never a bass without structure. A couple more casts, see if I can do that again. Wasn't that a great time? I'd like to thank Anthony Hips for being our co-host for this week, and Rob and Kathy at Waterfalls Lodge for hosting us. For more information on this show and others in our series, visit us on the web at thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for joining us. Tight lines, and we'll see you next time.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to the support of Ontario, yours to discover. Algoma Country. Orvis Sporting Traditions.